I'd like to call to order the May 5th meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Roll call. Here.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
No. Approval of the minutes. I did get a chance to review all 4 weeks of minutes, and I recommend that someone approve them. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item A is the bid opening for the 3rd District Local Street Project, Walter Avenue Reconstruction. We got 7 bids. The first bid is from Walsh and Kelly Incorporated, 1700 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $553,665.99. The next bid is from Gatlin Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, 1111 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. They have their Form 96. They have their bid bond and their non-inclusion affidavit signed. And their bid is $580,000. Next bid is from Reith Riley Construction Company Incorporated, 7500 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and their non-inclusion affidavit is signed. Their bid is $595,450. Next bid is from Hassey Construction Company Incorporated, Lincoln and Plummer Avenue, Calumet City, Illinois. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $624,749. Next bid is from Rex Construction Company Incorporated, 700 Schiller Avenue, Cherville, Indiana. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $566,921.37. Next bid is from Grimmer Construction Company Incorporated, 2619 Main Street, Highland, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their non-inclusion affidavit signed and their Form 96. Their bid is $558,964.23. And the final bid is from Gary Up Construction, 3965 Harrison Street, Gary, Indiana. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96. And they have their non-collusion affidavit. And their bid is $837,500. Do I have a motion to refer these to the consultant for tabulation and recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Those guys probably want to go, and then we'll go to the hearing. This is another thing we can do this. We'll move down to, did I take the vote?
No vote.
Yeah, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item B is a bid opening for the 6th District Local Street Project, sewer sidewalk improvements, Orchard Drive, Kennedy Avenue to Arkansas. We have 7 bids. Oops. It looks like the same company, so I'll just read their names. Walsh and Kelly Incorporated, they have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit. And their bid is $696,341.67. Next bid is from Gatlin Plumbing. They have their Form 96, they have their non-inclusion affidavit, and they have their bid bond, and their bid is $707,000. Next bid is from Reith Riley Construction Company. They have their bid bond. They have their Form 96 and their non-collusion affidavit, and their bid is $741,200. Next bid is from Hassey Construction Company Incorporated. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and their non-collusion affidavit. Their bid is $736,664.30. Next bid is from Rex Construction Company Incorporated. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, And they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $695,666.55. Next bid's Grimmer Construction Company Incorporated. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $696,613.77. Final bid is from Gary Up Construction Company Incorporated. They have their bid bond, they have their Form 96, and they have their non-inclusion affidavit signed. Their bid is $747.09. One extra zero. No, it's $747. 700, I don't know. Yeah, 7,000.
747,900.
Okay. That's confusing. Okay, do I have a motion to refer these to the consultant engineer for tabulation and recommendation?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. We're going to move down to item G, which is the Blight Elimination Program public hearing.
Morning.
Hi.
For your record, I'm Nicole Bennett. I represent both United Neighborhoods, Inc. and Hammond Redevelopment Commission in partnership with the city in the Blight Elimination Program, which I know you're all aware of from prior times when we've been in front of you. The hearing set today is on the list of properties that have been provided to you and were noticed up in the newspaper, the time specifically on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of March for today's public hearing to add these to the list of properties to be submitted to ICDA for approval to accept these properties into the BEP program. On this list already, we have acquisition of 3 of those properties and are intending on moving forward immediately with those through the program. The others are hopes that we can acquire as we move farther into the program, but are at the process right now of trying to work on these to reach a deadline by the state of June 1. So we are requesting, obviously, for you to open the public hearing today regarding these and be able to approve these properties with the state so that we can continue this partnership with both the city as well as the Indiana Housing and Community Development.
And just in addition, Kevin Smith and the Building Department and Inspections Department, these notices were noticed properly. They were put in newspaper as well as at the courthouse and the library. So there has been proper notice of these. The list is pretty extensive, but
And we have the publisher's claim here to show that we've advertised the
Excellent.
public hearing.
right. The list on this is pretty extensive, but what the purpose of that is to list them so that the public hearing component of the requirements of the state program through the federal government are met, and when they are, once we have a public hearing, we can then move forward and decide which properties to use the public hearing requirements. So,
It looks like there's about 70 properties here,
That's right.
give or take a few.
we just need to open up the public hearing and see if anyone would like to speak on it.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on the blight elimination program? The public hearing's open to the public now. Anyone in the audience? Anyone in the audience wanting to speak? Okay, the public hearing's closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin, I know we have a representative from the program in the audience today.
Brianna Bender is present, that's correct.
I believe it was on the 17th of March that we did the previous public hearing on those properties.
That's correct.
Will we be able to get an update as to when those approvals can be expected so that we can meet that deadline?
I actually have a letter with me today that I had just presented to Jeff Stern, was going to provide a copy to Nicole as well, approving the addition of 842 Willow Court and 4616 Cameron Avenue, which were two of the previously noticed properties. There are then 3 additional properties, including Hickory and Walter, that should be approved later today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we've been working with Ms. Bender and HF pretty closely, and our goal is to make sure we meet the June 1st deadline, and we've related that to her, and she knows that's our goal. We're working pretty good towards that with Rail Mello and Mr. Stir and others. So, thank you.
Happy to see it move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Then we'll move back to item C, correspondence received from Norfolk Southern requesting permission to close Osborne Avenue for 4 to 5 hours on May 3rd, beginning at 8 a.m. for rail crossing repair. That's just south of 165th Street, right? They have to replace 2 defective rails. Do I have a motion approving that short-term closure?
Motion to approve?
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item E, we have correspondence received from the 3rd District Councilman Anthony Higgs requesting $10,000 be allocated to Engineering Department for patchwork to be done on Highland Street and Road Avenue. That's this one. Do I have a motion approving that?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item F is Title VI Plan, Non-Discrimination Agreement submitted for approval.
Mr. President, this is a program that the federal government is requiring that the city enact in order to receive federal highway dollars. It will be signed by the Board of Works. I will have the mayor approve it on Monday, and then there will be a council resolution adopting it as a policy of the city of Hammond. That way we've got all the bases covered and we can continue to receive our federal highway program money.
We have actually been doing this.
Yeah.
We just haven't had the formal
It's
document.
not that we've ever been doing any of the stuff that we say we're not going to do, but, you know, we're going to continue not doing it.
Do I have a motion approving the non-discrimination agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Next, we move down to item H, correspondence received from Fire Chief Jeffrey Smith, submitting the resignation letter from Senior Captain Roy Perez, requesting he be placed on pension rolls of the Hammond Fire Department effective May 6, 2016, and requesting approval of the promotions of Captain Robert Bukowski to Senior Captain, Eric Burdine to the rank of Captain, and Private John Corey III to the rank of Engineer effective May 5th.
Motion to approve the chief's request?
Second.
Motion and second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item I, rental registration hearing on property located at 4324 Wabash. Please state your name, ma'am, for the record.
My name is Pam Whistler, and I am the property manager for Rose Real Estate at 4324 Wabash.
All right, Mr. President, I have that the owners live in Lindenhurst, New Jersey. The notices obviously were sent there. They did not register for 2015. They registered for 14, they registered for 16, they did not register.
That's correct.
How many units?
When you, single-family home,
It's a single-family home, you said?
yes.
Okay.
We do have a list of management that we do manage in Hammond. It was an oversight that on the list when I brought them in was one that we missed.
What's the board's pleasure?
Was there any issues with this property?
No, I just asked how many uses now.
Make a motion to waive the late fee for 2015. It still needs to be registered at the rate of $5 per unit.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Now we have a rental registration hearing on property located at 6832 Alcott. This is still your company.
Yes, it is.
Did you forget to do them all?
No, we have probably 30 of them that registered.
So these are the only two.
The only two.
All right, well, Mr. President, I do have that they registered for 12, 13, 14, and 16, but they did not register for 15.
Correct.
Although, whatever happened with the complaint from the tenant about mold in the apartment and receiving electric shock? Was that taken care of?
Yes, it's been completely rehabbed. And the owner lives in Hammond also, has another unit, and when she decided to move out, because the lease ended, when she moved out, we went in, we didn't find mold, but we completely rehabbed the home.
Are we here just on 2 properties then today, or are there more? These two?
There were only two.
All right, the building department's recommendation is to waive the late fee for 15.
A motion to waive the late fee for 2015. The unit must be registered at a rate of $5 for the year.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against? Motion passes. Okay, we move down to item K, rental registration hearing on property located at 632 Sibley. Ted Montavina, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Mr. President, are we here on Sibley?
Yep.
Yes,
And you're Ted Netavina?
yes, it is.
All right. The thing I can't understand is the address you have listed for your home address is a rental. So you're renting to yourself?
No.
Okay. See, we have Ted, and we have 709 State Street, and 709 State Street is a rental, and the rental bills for that are mailed to 3817 Jewett.
No. All mine are billed to a post office box. This is my office for the trailer park.
Could you speak into the microphone so that the board can hear?
What has happened is I paid on the 632 all these years. In 2013, I contract sold it to the tenant. The tenant could not pay the taxes. I took it back. Now, 2015, I thought I didn't buy a rental registration for my Gaza Street 2 rear, and I bought one for there. But something got mixed up here that I don't know. Maybe I was at fault. But there's 4 at Goslin, 1 at Sibley, and 3 at 709. Now, 709,
709 is registered. The only issue is 632 Sibley. The problem might be that he's giving us a rental address as his home address. What we really need to do is we need to update his information because we're sending it to another tenant's house. Well, I have the property was not registered for 14 or 15. It was registered prior to 12 and 13.
Is this the only rental property that you have?
yes.
No, I think he just said it was for,
It's not because he's got 709 State Street.
709 State Street is the office. I have 1 apartment in the rear, and 713 is a duplex.
Oh, so he's got more than one.
Oh, yes. Well,
Were the other ones registered?
I'm not here.
Just this one wasn't, because he thought he sold it?
We don't have any record of that. 709, it is registered, the rear part is registered as a rental.
Okay.
632, this is all the notes we have.
and we, just to be,
That 1 year, last year, I thought that I pulled the permit out and I can't find it, the documentation on it. And the 2 rear on Goslin Street, it wasn't full. I figured that was enough vacancy because tenants are hard to find in them anymore than pay.
so this address that we have on the hearing notice, the PO box, the 2447, is that the correct PO box number?
Pardon?
The, okay, So that's the note, that's where we should be sending any correspondence to you regarding registrations.
Right.
All right, let's make sure that gets corrected. I make a motion to waive the late fee for 2015 on the one unit. You still need to register that unit at a rate of $5 for 2015.
And he also needs to register for 14 as well. 14 and 15 for 632 Sibley. The building department recommends waiving the late fee, but he does need to register both ways.
Okay, so for one unit for 2014 and 15. 2014 will be at the rate of 80 and 2015 at the rate of $5.
So, what does she say now?
You need to go downstairs and register after the hearing is over.
All right,
Second.
I have a motion and a second to waive the late fee.
all right.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. We move down to item L, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings. We have 7 of them.
Yeah, all right, all right.
When do we want to schedule them?
We have a bunch coming up.
June 16 is the recommendation of the board secretary.
Motion to set for June
16th.
June 16th?
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. We have a bid recommendation for demolition received from Kelly Kearney, Chief of Inspections. And this is,
Yeah, Mr. President, those are the bids that we opened up last week on the 28th.
right,
It appears that newcomer IESCO is actually doing really well on the bids. They were awarded the lion's share of them. There was a bid awarded to American Salvage and Deconstruction for 47 Mason, and then I think there were a couple for JAM as well. I would just ask that the board, I have...
5 for JAM.
Okay. I ask the board to please approve those bid awards.
Motion to approve the bid awards?
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item N, order to rescind, order to demolish regarding the property located at 531 Cherry Street.
Mr. President, this is a house that was on the demolition list. I don't know, I didn't include any photographs, but it has been rehabilitated. It looks very nice now, and I would ask that the board please approve that so we can rescind the order and clear up the title.
Okay, motion to rescind the order to demolish.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item O, we have an agreement to rehabilitate property located at 838 Willow Court.
Mr. President, this is another property that was on the demolition list, and the owner has decided to enter into a written rehabilitation agreement. I would just ask the board to please approve it.
Motion to approve the rehab agreement.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Next, we have a contract for demolition services with IESCO Construction for demolition of 909 Bauer. And the amount of the compensation for the demolition is $4,350. Do I have a motion approving the contract for demolition?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against, motion passes. Item Q, interlocal governmental agreement between the City of Hammond, Indiana, City of Hammond Board of Public Works and Safety, and the City of Hammond by and through its redevelopment commission. This is the one I think came up last week and it was a little confusing.
Is it signed by redevelopment? I think,
It's still not signed. by
okay, then I would just say let's reject it because I'm not even sure if that's the correct agreement or if that was just something that was sent over as a sample. Okay, this is correct? Okay, well, as soon as we get it signed by the redevelopment commission, this board can approve it.
So do I have a motion deferring action on this until we get a signed copy from redevelopment?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item R is a license agreement with Do All Village Incorporated for environmental monitoring at 837 Hoffman. That was a former Cleaners, and I remember that they wanted to block the sidewalk. I hope they've revised that because there's a school right there, and we need to be able to maintain access. Here's the drawing.
I believe they wanted to divert pedestrian traffic into the street, didn't they?
Yeah. And that's the reason we deferred action on it originally. Property boundary.
Sketch in there, okay?
It doesn't tell me where their construction fence is gonna be. It shows utilities out in the street.
I would think people wanna know that.
Yeah, I don't think they've explained anything.
Is anybody here?
Anybody here from Duval Village? Yeah, but the sidewalk's not blocked, right? Because that's what they were proposing, to block the sidewalk and push everybody out into the street in the parking lane, and then we turned that down. And this really doesn't clarify it, so I'm not sure. Let's see what it says here. I think we need to have, I think we should refer this to engineering and have them contact somebody, because it looks like it went through Ron Novak, but it's not clear.
Oh, and he's made overtures to the fire department, but that was one of our concerns as well, was the pedestrians.
Yeah, the school's right
being
next
pushed
door,
into the
in the
street.
next block.
And he didn't know how they were gonna buffer the traffic away from the pedestrians.
Do I have a motion to defer action until we get a clarification on the impact on our public right-of-way?
Motion to defer action, yes.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item S, order confirmation and reinstatement of telephone numbers covered under the contract with First Communication for City Hall.
Mr. President, this is actually an attachment for a previous contract that we signed last week or the week before. It's just really not a contract, it's the list, it's like an addendum to that contract. It's just a list of phone numbers in case anybody at any point in time should ever need to see that, we would have it in our records.
Do I have a motion approving the modification of the original agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Next, we have item T, correspondence received from First Baptist Church of Hammond requesting closure of Oakley and Sibley to Willow Court and Oakley Street to State Street to the parking lot of the Hammond Public Library and Oakley to State Street to the bridge on Holman Avenue from 4 p.m. Monday, July 11th to 10 p.m. Thursday, July 14th for their annual teen conference. Yeah, we've approved this every year, so do I have a motion approving those closures?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item U, correspondence received from Leon's Triathlon requesting road closure on June 5th, 2016 from 7:30 a.m. to 12 noon for the bicycle and running portion of the annual triathlon. And this is the same route, right, that they've used every year?
I understand that they may have changed it a little bit.
They changed it last year.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
And that worked out better, right?
It worked out better.
Yeah, but they're still on Calumet. 129. Okay, do we have a motion approving the route?
This is the same as last year?
That's a description.
I don't know what it is this year, but I know they did change
It looks like it's the same as last year, because I'm looking at the major streets and it's the same area.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item V is garage sale permits. You want to review them?
Motion to approve the garage sale permits?
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item 6 is matters from other board members. I've got a few items here. First item is from City Engineer Dean Button, and it's a recommendation to the board that they approve the list of engineering firms that have been selected for the district work for the next 2-year term, so that the engineering department could start to develop contracts with these firms. And the firms are First Group Engineering, United Consulting Engineering, DLZ, SCH of Indiana, Nice Engineering, and VS Engineering. Do I have a motion approving that list?
So moved.
Motion is second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Next, we have an agreement for patrol and enforcement by the Hammond Police Department of the posted parking restrictions.
Mr. President, this is the Gateway Promenade, which is basically the old Kmart Plaza over there by the other White Castles.
Right.
They have a lot of problem with people doing overnight parking, trucks, people loitering in the parking lot. So this is just an agreement between the property manager and our police department that they will enforce the posted signs that are there.
Okay, do I have a motion approving the agreement?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Next, I have a letter from Andy Perillo, and he said that he recently received a letter for $2,000 as a result of his failure to register property at 1020 Becker for 2014 and 2015. He is asking to give him an opportunity to bring this up again before the board. A new property owner in Hammond at the time, he did not fully understand the requirements. We've already acted on this, so the question is, do we want to open it up again?
Is going to show up this time?
I don't know. He's from Crown Point.
You set it with the next registration date? Or you set it to the next?
What do you want to do? He didn't respond
He
until he
didn't
got the bill,
respond to the
right?
hearing.
Was that what Mr. said?
I don't think he's...
Not yet. Not yet.
What was his hearing date? Do we have that info? What was it? 3 weeks ago and he didn't show up?
It's your pleasure.
What was it when we set those other ones, the 16th?
June 16th? I'll make a motion to hear the gentleman out for June 16th.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Next, we have an email that was received in the law department early this morning, and it's a person who wants to remain, doesn't want to give his name. So he's saying that there were no parking signs put up in the 73 and 7400 block of Bering Parkway, and he was wondering why they weren't also put up in the 71 and 7200 block. Probably we should send this to Gary, since these are new installations, and see what the reasoning was, and let Gary respond to us.
I'm familiar with that area. Is it no parking on the Parkway side?
This is on
or-
the Parkway side,
Oh,
right?
I don't think there's ever been parking on the Parkway side.
But I don't think it was posted, so
Oh,
maybe
okay.
that's what, he's saying that it's only posted for that 2-block area.
Okay, well, the problem is it does come down to a funnel. If you turn off of 175th, it comes to a funnel. So if somebody's parked on both sides, you really can't get through. So it might have something to do with that. But there's never been parking on the grass side of the Parkway because there's no curbs.
Well, it sounds like the signs recently went up.
Yeah, it was, like a couple weeks ago, someone actually requested them, and they went up, just.
Yeah,
specifically
he
for
said
the
that he
policy.
requested it on the 311 app, and they went up within a week afterwards. So let's just refer this to Gary and let Gary comment on it. We have a motion to refer that to the street department for comment?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item 7, matters from other department heads or their representatives.
That would
Yes,
be me, Mr. President. As you saw, Gary Matthews was here a little bit earlier. There was a matter back in November that we had set sort of mysteriously for the first Thursday in May. So it wasn't actually on the agenda, but it is 701 and 705 Kane, and I'm asking to set it for a date certain of July the 14th, 2016.
Do I have a motion to set it for that date?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Do we have any new business? Are you from the public? Well, you're going to get a chance on number 10. Old business. We have a response here from Gary Gleason, Public Works Director, concerning the placement of handicap parking signs on a 5200 block of Ann. We agreed and placed the residential-only parking signs. Handicap parking is only for a homeowner with a registered vehicle to the address and a driver's license, and needs a letter typed from a doctor on the doctor's letterhead stating why the resident needs the sign. Also, if the residence has a driveway, we cannot place a sign there because there is off-street parking available. So the person that requested this was Reverend Gamage. You want to send him a copy? Okay.
Any action on that?
I don't think we need any action. He just responded because I think it came up at last week's meeting or the meeting before.
Okay.
Next, the meeting is open to the public. Yes, ma'am, you can step up now. And state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Annette Rogers, and I am a property preservation contractor. And I'm here on behalf of my client for property located at 6817 Bering. 6817 Bering is up for demolition. From my last visit here, I've been told that a permit was actually issued in March. However, my client does wish to rehab the property, and I have estimates and am ready to enter into contract with a rehab contractor, but I was told to not proceed yet because of the demolition status. I drove past the property this morning, and it is still standing. So I'm here today to find out how or what I can do to have it rescinded so that we can proceed with the rehab.
Mr. President, this property was ordered demolished last April. It's been bid, it's been awarded, NIPSCO has been terminated, permits have been pulled. This is a house that's full of animal feces, and it is very imperative that the city gets this down before it starts to stink if it should ever get warm again. There was some contact with some individual on this property as of April 8th. On April 8th, I sent an email, and I don't know if it was this woman or if it was the attorney. I told them what they needed to do, that they had to get an inspection, do a rehab agreement. Now it is May 5th. Nothing has happened. We've had NIPSCO cut the power. The power was cut April the 19th by NIPSCO. The permits have been issued, the environmental has been done, and it's coming down. It's too late. We can't wait a year for every single property and then have somebody come in at the very last hour and say, wait, I want to save it now. Especially since I communicated what had to be done over a month ago and no action was taken. So at this point, it's just too late. It's coming down. NIPSCO's already cut all the utilities to it. It's done.
So has the water been cut too, or?
I believe.
Usually that happens
Yeah,
the same
that
time
happens a lot
NIPSCO.
earlier. It's NIPSCO that's always the holdup.
Yeah, so they've disconnected at the main. There's probably a hole out in the street where they patched.
Okay, I would like to add that I am the one that we communicated with her, an email was sent, and I did start the process. I made the phone calls. My phone call was not returned, and then I came here the following week, which was 2 weeks ago, And then I was given direction as to what to obtain. So I obtained those documents, and I'm here today with them. So it hasn't been that I've been sitting on this for a month. It was, I have an email from her from Friday, April 8th. So yes, it has been almost 4 weeks, but it's, you know, I didn't have everything in hand that was needed. And once I did have it in hand, I had to wait until you guys convened for me to bring it here.
Well, you could have went to the building department.
I did.
You could have,
I did, and I was told to come to this meeting when I went to the building
this is
department.
already under contract to, there's a demolition contractor. There's-
There's a
They've
property,
already-
it's in bad condition inside, and yes, I will definitely agree to that. The outside of it is fine, it's just, it's the inside.
It looks fine, inside is just trash, it's also an illegal 2 units, so there's concern for that too. So, I mean, there's.
The issue is, this was set for demolition April the 30th, 2015. Where was everybody April the 30th, 2015? Now this is May of 16. Where was everybody for the last 12 months on this property? All of a sudden, now that the power's cut, the water's cut, we're ready to go. Now everybody's gonna save it.
Okay, it's actually, it's pre-foreclosure property, so at the time that this was done, it was still in the hands of the previous mortgager.
That's also the problem too, the banks have these properties and then until they point that, we come and say we're gonna demolish it because you're not taking care of the property, we're not gonna maintain it anymore. Then all of a sudden they find somebody who wants to buy it, invest in it, and, you know, here we are. The banks would be more responsible, take these properties, clean it out, get all the animal waste that's in there, and get out of there. No, they just want to sell it for whatever they can get out of it, and then have us deal with it. We're dealing with it. The permit is full, this property needs to come down, as we sit next to this border. Over here, somewhere.
Right, it was placed on the demolition list September of 14. And the notices went out, it looks like February of 15, including the bank was noticed. And here we are now 16. I mean, it's just too late. This one is too late. Too much time has passed. We've gone too far in the process.
The property is still standing. And
Who knows,
we
maybe
are-
the contractor's out there today knocking it
No,
down.
I just left the property.
What's the board's pleasure? We get this all the time. Somebody comes in last minute, just before we're ready to demolish it. We want to stop it, and then
I can show you the pictures of the animal waste. This is not beige carpet.
Yeah.
This is animal feces in the basement. And these pictures were taken over a year ago. And I have no reason to believe it looks anything different from carpet. It's not textured carpet. Yeah.
Said, we don't deny that it's nasty, but we do have every intention of going there with hazmat people to clean it out.
Ever a rehab agreement entered?
it's already has a contract.
But I
with a
mean, there was
demolition
never a
contract.
point when they had a rehab agreement?
There was never
No.
an inspection, there was never a rehab, I explained everything that had to be done. And of course, when the permits were pulled, and now everybody wants to fix it up. That was on the second one? Yeah, the vice president.
It's nasty, but I mean, it's salvageable.
Well, everything is salvageable. You put up money in it, and the process is the bank was in foreclosure, and knew this was coming to the point. Why didn't they do something a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when the situation arose? Now the neighbor's been looking at this property, I'm complaining to us that this new property needs to come down. Not the last minute that, you know, it's an investment, we can, you know, make a quick buck. Let's say we can save the property, however, you, another 6, 9 months over, we have to get it done. I don't think the neighbor should have to deal with that.
Rehab will take us about 4 weeks.
Not eliminating that second unit.
That's 4 weeks, I don't know.
There are additional issues as far as the legal cut-up portion of that property, is that correct?
Correct. I don't know what contractors, if she has either, her license.
Do we need to make a motion? Do we need to make a motion?
Yeah, I think we need to make a motion to
We're too far along in this process to stop action now, so my motion would be to deny the request.
And proceed with the
and
demolition.
proceed with the demolition.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Okay, thank you.
Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Those against, motion passes. Okay, the meeting is still open to the public. Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to get up and speak? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Meeting's adjourned.